Hey, what is up guys, Smurfy here, and today I want to talk about the new card spoil, which is called Harsh Mentor. If you haven't heard of the card before, it's a 1 red and 1 colorless creature for a 2/2 human cleric, and whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact, creature or land that isn't a mana ability, it deals 2 damage to that person. So a couple of things to note. I think first of all that it's only your opponents. So Eidolon of the Great Revel is a staple in like Eternal formats in Modern and Legacy for burn. And it's symmetrical, so once you play Eidolon, even your own bolts deal damage to yourself, and it just changes the way people play the game. However, Harsh Mentor is not symmetrical, so it's only on your opponent. That's definitely relevant. Second of all, it's not legendary, so if you get down like 2 of these, then all of a sudden fetch lands cost 5 life, which is an insane amount of life to pay to fetch a land. And yeah, I think that just together, between all of the factors, like it hits such a variety of things like vehicles, and there's just so many things it hits. I think it's a really powerful card. I don't know if it's good enough to be in the modern burn deck. It's probably not as good as Eidolon. However, I think it's a very good card for the burn decks and other aggro decks in modern to have access to. There's a huge list of cards that it's really good against. So I've just made a little list of the cards that stuck out to me. So in standard, we've got things like vehicles, all the activated abilities of all the new gods, Whirl of Virtuoso and creature lands. There's a bunch of other things obviously as well, but those are the ones that straight away stuck out to me. For modern, we've got things like Scavenging Ooze, Aether Vial, which is a really good one to hit, fetch lands, Cranial Plating, Blinkmoth and Inkmoth Nexus when you activate them, Arcbound Ravager, pretty much everything in the Lantern Control deck gets hit by this. I just don't think the Lantern Control deck can beat this card. And Knight the Reliquary. And then for older formats like Legacy and Vintage, we've got things like Deathrite Shaman, Synthesized Divining Top, Wasteland, Mishra's Factory. Obviously this is a tiny sample of what it does hit, but it's just such a large amount of creatures and artifacts and things like that that it not only just like punishes your opponent, but almost kind of like shuts them off of playing it. Like as I used the example of the Lantern Control deck, like you play this card and the deck doesn't really function. So I think this card is going to be a great card just to have in Modern and in Legacy, and hopefully it's going to see a lot of play in Standard as well. I find it hard to believe that it won't. So yeah, I thought I'd just give my opinions. Those are just some of the cards I think it's really going to be relevant against. I can't wait to play with the card in Modern and Legacy and in Standard. Leave your comments in conversation below what you guys think. I think it's going to be just a really big game changer as far as using a burn card as a hate card. I'm really excited to see it. Thanks for watching, and peace.